as good as we can on the job, not just look good. We want to perform well as well.
Bryce Teager has been with the PAPILLION Fire Department for 14 years. He's an apparatus operator for the department and a trained fitness expert. He attended South Sioux City High School and played football for Wayne State.
So I think I got into fitness because I was trying to make myself a better athlete. So I was researching on how to become stronger, faster, quicker, more mobile, all those things. So I guess I developed a passion for it and then decided I can help other people with this as well. So went to Wayne State to study exercise science and somehow got to this part. My career goal was to become a strength coach like I did at Division I college. And it was tough because I had a family at the time, and being a strength coach is not very conducive to family life.
Yeah. Especially when you're an assistant strength coach, right? When
Exactly.
You're not the real strength
then
coach. Yeah.
There's always a chance that the head coach gets fired and then you have to find a new job somewhere else. So I just decided that for family life, being a firefighter was probably a better option. I used to train mixed martial arts as well at Mid-American Martial Arts, and there was a guy there, Jason Brills, who was a firefighter for Omaha, and we got to talking, and he talked about the job and how cool it was, and I was like, well, it's got good benefits, it's good for the family life, seems like a fun job. So I just decided to test for it and try it out, and got hired, and 14 years later, I'm here.
Yeah.
Rod Cole was the guy that I was directly under. He was their strength and conditioning coach at the time, so I worked under Rod Cole, but Bill Snyder was, he was in the scenes too, watching us, making sure the guys were working hard and everybody was there and accountable. So, yeah, he was pretty straight and narrow.
Then you went over to UNO?
Yep. So after I did my internship, I did an internship at Kansas State for a full summer, and then went to get my master's at UNO, and about halfway into that, I decided it was time for a career change again, because I had a family and kids at the time. So it's like, this is my passion, strength and conditioning is my passion, but I have to kind of step up for my family because that was number one in my life at the time. Well, I was living in Papillion at the time, and I wanted to serve my own community. So I don't know, it just worked out. They were hiring at the time right when Jason Brills was talking to me about firefighting. I was like, well, they're hiring. I'm going to get my EMT basic. I'm going to get my Firefighter 1, and I'm going to test for these guys. And luckily, I got hired right away. And,
I'm assuming the strength and conditioning, the physical fitness part of it wasn't hard for you.
That was one of the easier parts, I did a lot of studying for the written. I did a lot of preparation for the interview. So I was just basically doing the same thing I always did for the physical part, and that part wasn't too terribly difficult, but I mean, it's not an easy test. Back then it wasn't anyway. I would say, it took me a few months because I was a new guy. I didn't want to be like, hey, you need to eat this and you need to just start working out. I didn't want to do that, but I would say a few months into it, I started, one of the first things I did, I would write a little article, like a really short article, and I would actually post it above the urinal. So guys, when they were using the restroom, they would see like, oh, there's a little quick fitness tip or a sleep tip or some type of nutrition tip that they could use. I'd also write emails for the department and like include everybody in it to just, again, nothing like, a 10-page article or anything, but just something so guys could like skim through it and be like, oh, maybe I could implement that into my life, and hopefully that will improve my health and make me a better firefighter. So yeah, it was at least a few months into it because I didn't want to step on anybody's toes right away. I think mentally it's pretty comparable. Like the unknown, like you're fighting somebody else, you don't know how they prepared, you don't know exactly how good they are. So like mentally you have to get into the mindset that I'm just going to do my best. Same thing on the fire ground. Like there's so many unknowns on the fire ground. You can't predict everything. You can try to, and you can prepare yourself the best that you can to do your best. But like mentally, I think MMA really helped me with firefighting, just dealing with the unknown and knowing that, I just have to focus. I have to be mentally tough and just do my best at the time. And had a person stuck in an elevator, we're just thinking we're going to open up the door and out she comes, you know, but she was actually crushed in the elevator.
Oh, no.
So like, you know, you have to immediately flip your mindset, like, okay, now it's time to do my best and hopefully save this person, or at least mitigate as much as you can. I mean, again, firefighting is all about that. You could be dead asleep, 3 o'clock in the morning, tones hit, you don't know exactly what you're going to. It's, you know, being always ready is like something that is part of the job requirement, basically, and like you always have to be ready. We went from 1 station to 4 stations. I mean, you can see around us that, you know, the city is exploding with population. We're getting more calls, a lot more car accidents. There's more traffic. I mean, there's a lot that has changed within that 14 years. I mean, we went from just a few guys at the fire station to now we have, you know, 4 different stations with 3 to 6, 7 guys at each station. So yeah, it's changed quite a bit. My wife's a coach at CrossFit PAPILLIO, and I do some coaching there on the side. Then we also do nutrition consultations for people around the community, and I've done some with some firefighters and firefighters' wives, and just doing nutrition consultations. We talk about nutrition, sleep, health, wellness, stress management. We get into all that type of stuff. So it's kind of gives me a little break from the firefighting side, and I still get to work on one of my passions, which is health and wellness. So yeah, it's good. I think people are starting to understand that health should be their #1 priority. If their health isn't the best, then it affects everything else in their life. It'll affect their sleep, their mood, their relationships, their work life. Like if you have debilitating injuries, or you know your health is at risk, then you can't focus on your family as much or your job as much. So I think people are starting to realize that this standard American diet and the standard American way of living is starting to catch up with them, and they need to make a change. A lot of the times our clients are people that like really want to like be a better father or a better husband or a better wife, and they're struggling because of their mental wellness or their weight, or they just have chronic pain. So just trying to help those people reach their goals is kind of satisfying. I want to keep trying to change the culture of the fire department to where, I mean, when I first started, it was a culture of, eat whatever you want. People bring in donuts and cookies and cakes and, free for all type of thing. Kool-Aid was drank at almost every meal, or a pop or a soda. And I want to keep changing the culture to where, hey, we're professionals. We need to do the best we possibly can to help ourselves, to help our families, to help the citizens. And I think diet and sleep and stress management and all those things are going to be really important for us in the future, because we're, when I first got on, there was a lot of young guys, and now we're starting to age, so that's becoming even more apparent that we need to focus on our diet and our health, stress. So I want to keep improving the culture with Papillion Fire, and one of my goals is to retire healthy and be able to still enjoy my life and go camping and hiking and all that. So I want to take care of myself too, and I want to see other firefighters do the same. I think for the most part that kind of clicks for them. We are professionals. We should train like we're professionals. We should treat our bodies like we're professionals. Train hard, eat well, sleep well. All those things are important when you're a professional firefighter, and there's lives at stake. Your life at stake. Your partner's life at stake, the citizens out there. So treating it as you're a professional athlete, in my opinion, is really important.
Do you wear shorter sleeves because your arms are big?
They make fun of me because I used to wear a large and then I went to a medium, but
is that like a
I just
medium?
I would call it that, yeah. One of the things that I'm grateful for is that I get to help some of these new guys come on and teach them about wellness and fitness right as they're starting, so hopefully they can create good habits, good goals for the rest of their career. So again, they have a long, healthy career, and when they do retire, they can go ahead and do it in health and not be like beat up, and like, I mean, injuries are pretty common in the fire department, so like making sure that injury prevention is important, their mobility, and, yeah, I think it's pretty satisfying to be able to help those new guys out right away and see them progress through their career.